Adebayo. The federal government is set to receive a loan worth $1.7 billion from the World Bank with approval expected soonest. According to official documents, the funds will be received via 3 major development projects aimed at enhancing Nigeria's economic stability and resource mobilization capabilities. The first project is the primary healthcare sector, which is set to receive $500 million. The second sector is the National Human Capital Opportunities for Prosperity and Equity Governance, which is also set to receive $500 million, while the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria project will receive the highest funding of $700 million. The document stated that the projects have reached the negotiation stage and are expected to be approved this month. It adds that Nigeria Human Capital Opportunities for Prosperity and Equity, which will receive $500 million, focuses on enhancing human capital by improving education, health, and social protection services. The Secretary General of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Mr. Haitham Al-Ghais, has blamed tax imposition by major oil-consuming countries, not oil prices, as the primary driver of fuel costs. He disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen, as his comment was in reaction over Nigerians' experience on several petrol pump price hikes in the last 1 year. The latest was when Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited announced an additional pump price hike in its retail outlets between Naira per litre and 1,019 Naira.22 kobo. Speaking on the factors responsible for fuel price hikes, Mr. Al-Ghais explained that the prices paid by consumers at the pump were determined by various factors, including the price of crude oil, refining, transportation, marketing costs, oil company margins, and taxes. According to him, revenues generated from oil sales are often reinvested by oil-producing countries into the oil sector, stating that OPEC member countries reinvested a substantial portion of their revenue into exploration, production, and transportation projects. Osun State Governor Senator Adeleke said his government has concluded plans to revive and complete the almost 12 years old Osun Airport project. A statement by the governor's spokesperson to the Malam Rashid Olawale indicated that Senator Adeleke disclosed this at the flag-off of the upgrade of Ibadan Airport to Ladoke Akintola International Airport in Oyo State. Governor Adeleke, who commended Governor Makinde as a man of vision and a passionate agent of development, said his government remains committed to infrastructure development and revival of agriculture sector in Osun. According to him, Osun Airport project has been upgraded to include a cargo terminal alongside a free trade zone under a PPP arrangement. Governor Adeleke commended President Bola Tinubu's government for supporting the state's aspirations for the development of the aviation sector in the country. The Osun State government has reassured the people of its commitment to ensure that all the ongoing road projects across the state will be completed in due course. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Bashiru Bello, who gave the reassurance while speaking with OSBC News, noted that the projects have reached advanced stages, while many of them will be commissioned to mark the second anniversary of Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration in November.
When we started this project, majority of people believe we cannot achieve it. But today, if you go around the state, you see that Mr. Governor is performing. That's why we are calling Mr. Performance. Most of the project, which is under direct labor or single carriageway, has reached 90%. And beside that, there is the project we awarded recently across the state, that is 1.5 kilometers in each local government of the state. All of the projects has achieved 60% so far as I'm talking. That means before November, that is, by the time the Mr. Governor will clock 2 years in office, all these projects will reach 100%. The major project, like dual carriage in Osogbo along O Garage, Okefia, Lameko Road, that one has reached 72% as I'm talking to you now. Then we have dual carriage at Ede. That one is almost 65%. Dual carriage at Elisha, the work is ongoing. seriously, if you get to Leisure, you see that the work is good. At Ife, there is this flyover. As I'm talking to you, nearly all the substructure work which carry the major work of the flyover has been completed. Our target is 2 years in office.
The Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions have announced plans to commence an indefinite strike if their outstanding salaries are not paid within 3 weeks. In a statement jointly signed by the President of SANU, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim, and the General Secretary of NASU, Prince Peter Adeyemi, the union said the federal government has been given a 10-day grace period, which expired July this year, to pay the outstanding salaries to university staff, with a warning to shut down universities if inter-university centers, if the payment is not made. The unions are demanding for the payment of 4 months pending salaries, improved remuneration and allowances, and the implementation of the 2009 agreement with the government, among other things. It will be recalled that the federal government, through the Ministry of Labor and Employment, has invoked the no work, no pay policy when the 4 university-based unions embarked on a prolonged strike in 2022. The unions also noted that they are aware that President Bola Tinubu has approved the payment of 4 months with their salaries, but that it is not being implemented by relevant government officials. The former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has sent his sympathy to the people and government of Borno State over the massive flood that ravaged the state capital, Maiduguri. Chief Obasanjo, in a sympathy message to the Borno State Governor, Professor Babangana Zulum, described the disaster as unfortunate and commended the government for its swift response to the situation. He also urged Professor Zulum to maximize the crisis to showcase his leadership, noting that it is usually in the midst of disasters of such nature that the qualities of good leadership and courage become manifest. Meanwhile, reports indicate that donations to the Borno State government from various quarters, including the federal government, have crossed 17 billion naira. Governor Zulum pledged that the state government will ensure the good use of the support to cater for the victims of the flooding in all the affected communities after receiving the donations. The Nigerian Customs Service Kirikiri Lighter Terminal said it intercepted 51.25 kilograms of cannabis valued at 256 million naira. In a statement, the Customs Area Controller in charge of the command, Mrs. Joy Ededwok, disclosed this while handing over the seized hard drugs to officers of Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the command headquarters in Apapa, Lagos. She added that the Act violates the provision of Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023, Section 55, subsection, while emphasizing that the interception was a testament to the command's continued dedication and commitment to safeguarding the nation's borders from the importation of illicit and harmful substances. According to her, the negative impact of drugs such as cannabis indica on individuals, families, and society at large ranges from the destruction of lives to an increase in crime, fueling violence, among others. The customs boss maintained that by keeping the dangerous substances out of the communities, the country is preventing untold harm and helping secure a safer future for the citizens, particularly youths, who are most vulnerable to the allure of harmful substances. Now on to sport. Former Nigerian international Taribo West says Augustine Eguavoen possesses techniques but lacks grace, which is preventing him from achieving success with the Super Eagles. Taribo West, who made this known while speaking on a radio program, said anytime Eguavoen leads the team, he brings an impressive touch to Super Eagles' performance, but the final result do leave much to be desired. Eguavoen, who also serves as the Nigerian Football Federation Technical Director, was handed the reins of the senior men's national team after the deal with the proposed German coach, Bruno Labbadia, fell through. This is the 59-year-old's fourth stint in charge of the team, having previously managed the dugout from 2005 to 2007 in 2010 and again in 2022. Reports indicate that Eguavoen's tenure has often been defined by near misses Under his watch, the Super Eagles narrowly failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup after crashing out on goal aggregate to Ghana in its fourth and current spell. The team has started their 2025 AFCON qualifiers on a bright note, claiming 4 points from a possible 6. And now on the foreign scene, Germany has put a hold on new export of weapons of war to Israel while it deals with legal challenges. A source close to the Ministry of Economy cited a senior government official saying it had stopped work on approving export licenses for arms to Israel due to legal and political pressure from legal cases, arguing that such export from Germany breached humanitarian law. Government spokesperson Mr. Stephen Street said there is no German arms export boycott against Israel. It will be recalled that last year Germany approved arms export to Israel worth $363.5 million, including military equipment and war weapons, a tenfold increase from 2022, according to data from the Economy Ministry, which approves export licenses. However, approvals have dropped this year 14.5 million euros, worth $16.1 million granted from January to, according to data provided by the Economy Ministry in response to a parliamentary question. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Please join us at 7 for major reports. Good evening.
ọkọ mi olùfàdé òròlú ẹtí mà ní ṣáìdì adéròlú máa kẹ láwẹ òròlú ewé àjálẹ irú orítọ ọmọbalẹ ìdíje màládé ṣẹṣẹ fún ọtẹ kúta ó tó ṣinṣin ọtẹ gbòǹgbò bómi ṣubú láre ọlẹnílé ọsùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan oníyọ ìdàtẹ ọlẹpọlẹ ọjí láǹfọ fún ọrìn òré balùwẹ̀ láàyè orítọ ọmọbalẹ ìdíje màládé ṣẹṣẹ fún ọtẹ kúta ó tó ṣinṣin ọtẹ gbòǹgbò bómi ṣubú láre ọlẹnílé ọsùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan oníyọ ìdàtẹ ọlẹpọlẹ ọjí láǹfọ fún ọrìn òré balùwẹ̀ láàyè ọmọ bá àdígbà orí àgbọ́dọ̀ mẹ́mú ààrẹ jẹ sorosoro àlẹ ìbọ̀sà èèyàn tó mú bàbá yín lájí òní rọ́nú egun àràrá ni wọ́n fi tẹ̀pá òṣèrò nílé bàbá tó bí ọlọ́mọ òru.
yẹyẹ ni ọmọ balùfàdé olúwo ó sì mọ̀ pé bàbá tẹ̀yìn ni olùfàdé ọmọ aládé jẹjẹ fún ẹ̀yìn lòlú mo tẹ́lẹ̀ gbé wúrà mo lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nílé àní mo tẹ́lẹ̀ ní funfun mo lẹ́ni nílé olúwo mọ̀ sùn lórí ẹ̀kọ́ ni ẹni bú bàbá yín lájẹ̀ kò ní wọn nínú ìgbà òwì tẹ́ẹ̀rí ni wọ́n fi mú mi ègbé ènìyàn tẹ́ẹ̀rí lẹ́fi tẹ́pá òṣòwò ọmọ sápàjọ rí dẹ́rí owó yóò jáfi ojoojú ẹni ohun kátàrí gbọ̀ngbọ̀n àyàfi ọjọ́ tó ṣà ọjọ́ ní bó ṣùṣù òòlù ká mọ́múrí ààfin lọ́jà ọba bàbá yín ló torí yá owó ló lọ́rìn lọ́gbìngbìn bàbá yín ló torí yàn owó ló lọ́rìn lọ́gbìngbìn ìyàn mú owó ló mọ ní gbìngbìn ọ̀ṣọ́ ìgbàgbìn.
kúrọ̀lẹ́ àsìkò iṣẹ́ látàárọ̀ ìròyìn ìrọ̀lẹ́ Kẹ́misọ́lá Ògúndípẹ̀ lóníròyìn.
Ìjọba àpapọ̀ yóò gba ẹ̀yáwó tó dín díẹ̀ ní bílíọ̀nù $2 lọ́wọ́ báńkì